Such a pleasure to be here. I want to give a big shout out to all of you who've taken the time and you're here with us on Zoom. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And also all my friends on Facebook, much love. And of course, YouTube. We've got lots of you tuning in live with us on our various channels. We're live on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and of course, here on Zoom. So thank you so much for taking the time to be here. This is an absolute pleasure for me to be here because Bea, who I'm going to introduce shortly, is a friend of mine for many, many years. Even though we're very young, we've known each other for over 20 years, almost 30, maybe, I don't know, 20 something years. So it's very exciting. So I'm Sabrina. Everybody knows that. That's not exciting. Let's talk about our exciting guest here. This is Bea Barberos. She's the Senior Director of Sales for North America with Karisma Hotels and Resorts. How are you, Bea?
I'm doing great. Thank you for the amazing introduction. And yes, we probably met when we were 14 because we can't say we've known each other for 20, 25 years without aging ourselves for sure.
It's true. And so she is like running the show. In Spanish, we say la jefa. All right. So it's my pleasure because it's our first webinar actually together. And I was so excited. I'm like, I need to do this webinar. Sometimes Susan does them, as you all know. And I'm like, it has to be me with Bea. So everyone was fighting who's going to do this webinar, just so you know. And there's so many treats in store. I can't wait to hear all the great updates. I've seen everything going as the company has, of course, continued to grow and has our amazing team and all the great agent tools, professional spoilers, of course. So we're so thrilled, of course, to be featuring them on Spoiled Agent and just with our fantastic partnership we have. So I don't want to talk too much. We've got a great webinar in store, as I know. Everything is amazing. Just look at already the first beach shot that you see there. I do want to say thank you because we've got an amazing prize. Do you want to say what that is, Bea, or would you like me to?
Yes, actually, it is a stay at our Margaritaville Island Reserve Riviera Cancun, double occupancy for 3 nights.
Okay, guys, this might be like my favorite hotel in the whole wide world. So you have no idea what you're in for. Please cross your fingers, your toes, and all of it. All you need to do to enter to win is to stay on until the Q&A starts. You don't need to ask a question, just stay on with us here. If you're on YouTube, LinkedIn, or our Facebook channels, only there, please share your email. No need on Zoom. We already have all your info. Speaking about questions, if you do have one, remember, you've got the boss lady here from Charisma, so she knows all of it. Please, please help us out and put it in the Q&A so it doesn't get lost in the chat. Let's leave the chat for the fun, of course, our reactions as well. So who here has already sold Charisma Hotels and Resorts vacation? Show me a heart, if you would, with their reactions. I love to see that. And if you're brand new and you have not yet, show me some kind of smiley face or clapping. I'd love to see that, even if it's the laughing one. It's okay.
And loving all of it. That's great.
That's wonderful. So we have some of everyone, some experts. When you'll see this, Bea, they're so amazing at putting in the chat their opinions and their own experiences. I just love our community. So we will get started, and I'll remind everyone this is recorded in case you'd like to view at a later date. I'll share all the links for you so you can check this out, of course, on our YouTube channel or, of course, on the Charisma dedicated pages. And without further ado, I will let you get started, Bea.
Excellent. Well, thank you again for the introduction. And everyone, thank you for your time this morning, this afternoon. Welcome to Karisma Hotels and Resorts. So, B. Barbero coming at you today. I am a fellow Canadian, just like Sabrina, and we have known each other for quite some time, but we actually never met in Canada. We met in Mexico. So really excited to be on this webinar today with Sabrina. Great partnership with Spoiled Agent, and just excited to do things together. So today we are going to and I'm just going to make sure, hold on a second. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I thought I had a technical issue there. Okay, so Karisma Hotels and Resorts, if you're new, then it is obviously a brand new management company for you to hear about. If you have been in the business for some time, you'll be fully aware that there have been some changes in the last couple of years. So today the focus is going to be on the brands that represent or are under the Karisma umbrella. And those consist of basically three brands, which are the Nickelodeon Hotels and Resorts, the Margaritaville Island Reserve brand, and the Azul Beach Resorts. And of course, we cannot forget our Karisma Villas, which we'll be talking about today as well. So Karisma, as I mentioned, is a management company, and we are today going to focus more so in the area of North America per se, but I do want to make sure that you're aware that we are a global company and we do have properties scattered throughout the world in Montenegro and also a ski resort in Serbia. But as I mentioned, our focus today is going to be in Mexico, the Dominican Republic, and Jamaica, where we have well over 2,000 rooms available for your clients, of course. Now, the Karisma experience is really all about it's quite unique. It's a lifestyle brand or a consumer brand that was brought into the actual hotel industry. And I say that, for example, with Nickelodeon and Margaritaville, that we'll talk a little bit more in detail about. We're located in beautiful destinations in 3 different countries, and we do offer something for every type of client. So whether it's someone that's looking to travel as a couple on a honeymoon, whether it's group travel that is celebrating a milestone birthday, incentive group, a wedding, and of course the multi-generational family travel that is very popular these days. And I love the fact that that's a niche that we are able to cater to, because when we jump into the type of accommodations we have, we've got something again for everyone. And that includes everybody's budget and everybody's taste. So something that is waiting for you. We've got popular swim up suites, not just on a ground floor level. We have higher floors that also have these options. We have themed accommodations, we have villas, we have connecting rooms. And of course, one of the things that positioned Karisma many years ago on the map were the masters of the culinary experience. So it really took, I want to say Karisma really was the pioneer of putting the experience of dining at an all-inclusive at another level, from the a la carte experiences to switching over that mindset of a traditional buffet to food displays. And also, of course, with our themed accommodations, we have our character dining. So that's an experience in itself. And another thing to mention to you is that our family-friendly products also have our toddler inclusive program. So really helpful when you're traveling as a family. You don't have to bring your entire household with you. We provide all of these amenities for you, and they can be arranged by yourself for your clients directly with the hotel, and of course through our BDM team. So everything from bottle sterilizers to pack and plays, all these are available to you in our family-friendly product. So also we cannot not mention all the different certifications and awards that have been received and that we've been honored with over the years. One thing I want to highlight today is mostly, again, Karisma being a pioneer in the Certified Autism Ready program. Now, this is called an autism double check program where we have staff fully trained to be able to cater to a market that I think is a fantastic option and just such a great thing that they put together. So the experience when someone is going on vacation to one of our properties is that we have staff trained to be able to make the experience all that much easier for them, from our wait staff that is flagged so that the experience for dining, perhaps one of the situations is they need to get in and get out of a restaurant quickly, so we're aware of that, to our security staff, making sure they're looking out for any child or young adult that perhaps wanders off. So really, really catering to this market. So if anyone has clients that are in need of a vacation destination, hotel experience at another level, that's something that you can come to Karisma with. Now, there's a lot of information on this particular program, so you can visit autismcheck.com. You can also reach out to our personalized concierge for autism_concierge. But my recommendation would definitely be to reach out to your BDM, who can then connect you and get you sorted out to answer any questions that you may have on this particular program. So with that said, let's talk about Margaritaville. So a lot of you have heard of Margaritaville. Maybe some of you have only heard of the fact that there's a song. some of you have maybe encountered restaurants in different airports or have seen casinos or even a cruise line or hotels that are located in different US cities and even in the Caribbean. So the thing that I want to make sure that I highlight for you is that under the Karisma umbrella, what we in fact promote and sell is the Island Reserve brand. What does that mean? The Island Reserve brand is the all-inclusive, and only Karisma offers the all-inclusive concept under this particular brand. We've taken what would be the laid-back vibe of Jimmy Buffett. If you're not familiar with him, he kind of originated the song, and this is how Margaritaville basically came about. Him walking along in Key West, staying in a restaurant, writing the song, and then it grew into a multi-billion-dollar franchise, and this is where we are today. So we've combined that laid-back vibe with an upscale, all-inclusive concept to become the Margaritaville Island Reserve. So today we're going to talk about our two properties. Both of them are located in the Cancun, Mexico area. Margaritaville Island Reserve Riviera Maya is the first one. This one is our newest property. It is also the largest property of the two, and it is only 20 minutes away from the airport, so it's a great short transfer from the Cancun airport, located in Riviera Maya, and this is our adults only concept. So adults only, 18 plus. This resort was a new build. It opened in only June 2023, so it is fairly new, as I mentioned. And the concept of the vibe of Margaritaville is very much a musical connotation. So it's a little bit different, or steers away from the traditional all-inclusive with the nightly shows and these type of entertainment options, where the focus again kind of goes into leaning into live music. And you might ask yourself, is all you're going to hear Margaritaville as in Jimmy Buffett music? A fun fact for you is, and this might be something you could use for your trivia game sometimes, every seventh song at the resort has to be a Jimmy Buffett song. So that's kind of fun, and that does tell you that there's a variety of different music of all types and languages in whether we have duets, live bands, DJs. So it's a lot of fun to be had overall. The Margaritaville concept with the adults only, of course, is a fun, friendly, active environment. So you can have as much fun as you want, participating in everything from our weekly phone parties to just a more of a laid back vibe. We've got lots of different pool areas that you can choose from and select from to whatever basically is your vibe. So with accommodations at this property as well, the color scheme is going to be very marine-like. Parrots are a big influence because what would be fans of Jimmy Buffett are actually called parrot heads. So that's a strong influence. But I love the idea and the fact that the parrots that are painted and that you see around the complex are actually have been painted by local artists. So I love that concept to combine the best of both worlds with Mexico and then the Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville vibe. So accommodations, we do have accommodations that have 2 beds because we are adults only, but we are not a couple focused, though we've got accommodations that will connect as well. So it could be even an adult family that's traveling together. There are swim out options, as I mentioned. There are swim out options higher up. So there are, several. I think we've got about 13 different categories. So I'm certainly not going to go into detail on each one. But all of the categories that we offer are available through your favorite tour operators. So you can definitely click and see the different pricing and the different options that we have. Some may be closer to the water, some offer an ocean view, some offer a front ocean view. So that's just something to consider qualifying your clients when you are selecting a particular category, and of course, keeping in mind their budgets. So within the hotel, there's also a lot of different restaurants and bars. Many of them actually have names from Jimmy Buffett songs. We have 4 different restaurants, 2 of those being a la carte. We have an Italian called Frank and Lola's, which has its own story, and I'll kind of leave that to you to further investigate. And we also have the JWB Steakhouse, which stands for Jimmy William Buffett, because that was his middle name. And we are super excited because one of the things that I think highlights this property is the fact that we are the only resort in the destination that has an oceanfront working brewery called the Landshark Brewery. And this operates as a restaurant for lunch and dinner. And then it is, in fact, the focal point until 1 a.m. with all the live music or whatever musical connotation or entertainment going on for the evening. And what's super cool is that we actually even do brewery tours. So we have our own brewmaster on site. And so you can taste the different kinds of beers that we have going that are made right on site. So it's very educational and a lot of fun. And of course, absolutely, you get to taste the beer. With that said, the concept of restaurants, of course, I mentioned food displays versus your traditional buffet, which means you also have live cooking stations. So those are kind of like the four different restaurants. And then we also have another one called License to Chill, which is, again, a name of a song of Jimmy Buffett that has the best tacos this side of the border, I would say. So really excited because when people are traveling to Mexico, they want to experience the cuisine. Certainly you want to go out of your comfort zone and try new things, but I think it's important to also relate to the local cuisine, which of course tacos and Mexican food are the norm. So also we've got 4 different bar areas. We've got swim up bars. We have a lobby bar that has entertainment in the evenings as well. So a saxophonist, a violinist, so that kind of vibe. So you can have a pre or post dinner drink there and enjoy the live music there as well. So some of the things that are available as well at the property are everybody, is on Instagram or some kind of social media. And I think I love highlighting this because we do have what would be a fun experience, which is your floating avocado boat that you can experience as a group if you're celebrating something special or just want to have some fun. But that does incur an additional charge. So I like to mention that because, you do see it everywhere, but it does have an extra cost involved. So with that said, the property itself is an actual oceanfront property, but I need to be transparent and really let you know that this property is for someone that is looking for a pool experience, as we do not have an actual beachfront. Unfortunately, Mother Nature hasn't been that great to us. We're hoping that our beach area will come back at some point, but it is a little bit beyond our control. And it is something that I do want to make you aware of because the experience is definitely for pools. Now, last but not least, this property also does have convention space and also a sky deck. So for special events such as weddings, that is something that, of course, is something you can consider, whether it's a plan B for an outdoor event or a meeting of some type. And very, very popular these days, I'm planning on taking lessons this summer. Pickleball. We have 2 pickleball courts on site. And so that's a lot of fun to be had if you just can't get away on vacation without playing pickleball. This is definitely a great choice. We also do Friday night neon pickleball tournaments, so that's a lot of fun as well. So that basically is the Margaritaville Island Reserve Riviera Maya. Now, just 6 minutes away, we have our Margaritaville Island Reserve Riviera Cancun. As you heard Sabrina at the very beginning, this is our absolute favorite hotel. The vibe here is something very unique and very different. So we have 2 Margaritaville properties very close to each other, but very, very different from each other. First of all, this one is much smaller in the number of rooms. It's 146. So without saying that it is a boutique hotel, it's definitely a boutique feel. The little corners and nooks and nannies all around the property itself really make it very inviting. And this property is our family friendly, so it is for all ages. However, we do have an area that is dedicated for adults. So if you're combining family travel with children under 18, this is a really great option. And this property does have that beachfront experience. So if you're looking for the Margaritaville concept, but you are you're a beach fan versus pools, then this is the option for you. And as mentioned, even if you're traveling as adults only, we do have a section for rooms, a pool, and a bar area that's dedicated to adults. And then the rest of the complex is available for all ages themselves. So we've talked about the Margaritaville vibe. The flip-flop is very representative, and each property has its different color. So that's just got a little story in itself as well. We both properties also have our Seat Somewhere spa, and that is another option in an all-inclusive that would incur an additional charge, but that's something that a lot of our clients and a lot of your clients do book some special treatments to treat themselves and stuff. So that's fun to be had as well. We continue with the colors, the very blue marine lights, the parrot concepts, and again, connecting rooms, swim outs. I love the layout of this particular hotel because you've got options where you can have swim outs that have ocean views if that's something you're more interested in. You've got swim outs that are closer to the swim up bar. So, depending on how many cocktails or if you like to enjoy your cocktails during the day, that's definitely a great option. And there are swim out options that are actually definitely more private. So again, really depending on what your particular clients are looking for, there's a lot that you can choose from on all the different categories we have here as well. And the dining experience is really quite, amazing. Just as I mentioned at the Riviera Maya property, we do have the same Frank and Lola's restaurant with the same menu. So you can delight your palate with all the great options you have there. We also have what would be our food display here. It is called the Beach House, which is really right at just a few steps away from the ocean, to be honest. We also have Latino, which is a fusion between Latin American, Mexican, and Asian cuisine. Really great dining experience. And my favorite personally, and I'm sure this is one of the reasons that Sabrina loves this property, is Rita's Taco House, which is the concept of that Mexican food that I was mentioning. However, you are sitting beachfront, overlooking the Caribbean Sea, and it's just an absolutely amazing experience altogether. And today, it is all about experiences. So it's something I love to mention because it is one of my favorite spots as well. And of course, the different bar areas, we have our lobby bar there. We also have our adults only bar, which is the license to chill. The license to chill also gives you an option if you have no idea what you want to drink. You see a little sort of lottery thing there. You can spin it and, kind of have the bartender select your drink for you, or the actual spinning wheel. And we also have our blending bike. So you can do a healthy option with our smoothie station, and or you can blend your own margarita. So each of the properties with Margaritaville, Riviera Cancun, and Riviera Maya have their own little things. As I mentioned, we've got the brewery on one side. On this side, both properties also have the famous 5 o'clock somewhere bar swim up area. And 5 o'clock somewhere, guess what? Yes, it is the name of another Jimmy Buffett song. So with that said, we do also have complementing it what would be a Parakeets Kids Club. So obviously that's not something that we have at our adults only, although some of them may need to be taken care of. And what's really amazing is that when you are thinking about perhaps a group, specifically a wedding, you can kind of consider that these properties would be one. And when I mention that is because we do allow children or guests that are under 18 to go to the Margaritaville Riviera Maya to attend a wedding event and the wedding reception, as these are actually held in private areas. And in fact, we even go a step further where we will arrange on the wedding date for transportation between the two hotels. That is just a mere 6 minutes away. So it's wonderful that you can have that option if you're looking for something for everybody's different taste, because we all know when it comes to group travel, particularly weddings with family and friends, everyone has, their own idea, their own budget, and the number of people traveling together. So Margaritaville, we're going to move on to the next brand, but Margaritaville Island Reserve is expanding, and we are going to be opening on another island I shouldn't say very soon, but soon. So keep your eyes open for more information on that, and I'm sure we'll be back with Spoiled Agent to provide more information on this opening. It will be in Roatan, so we're excited about opening another Margaritaville and expanding the brand with the Island Reserve concept. So Let's move on to the Nickelodeon. I don't believe this brand needs an introduction, of course. Nickelodeon, I think, brings out the inner child in all of us. A big part of the Nickelodeon is the slime. A huge part of it is, of course, one of the main characters being SpongeBob. But there are over like 22 characters that you can have an experience with. And that's probably the big highlight of staying at a Nickelodeon, the experience and the interaction with the characters, but also the amazing aqua park. So we're still in Mexico. So let's go down the coast, approximately 20 minutes from where our Margaritaville properties are located. And this is where the Nickelodeon Hotels and Resorts Riviera Maya is located. Now, I'm going to just stay on this photo for a moment because I think it shows a perfect example of the probably easiest hotel of the five under the Margarita, or excuse me, the Karisma umbrella as far as categories go. Because if you look at the building, it is facing the water. All of the rooms have ocean views. And then if you look a little closer, every single room has a swim out. And it really is all down to location. Rooms have either a king or they'll have two beds. Rooms will connect and you can they come basically in sets of four. So if you have a larger family or a group of friends traveling together, it's something that you can work on to have those connecting rooms and be together. So what are the differences? The ground floor is a swim out, so that connects to the main pool. And then the second, third, fourth, and fifth floor are basically run of the house. And of course, the top floor is going to be our penthouse units. But again, every single one has the ocean view. Every single one has the swim out. And even better is, and if you're traveling as a family, you have two bathrooms in every single unit. And you'll see on this photo on the left-hand side, there's kind of like a pineapple sitting up there. Well, that is actually one of our four themed accommodations. And so this is the Pineapple Suite, which is obviously related and in association with SpongeBob. On the far right-hand side, we have our Lair Suite, which is affiliated with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And then in the middle, we have the two Big Kahana Suites. So these are themed, and these are some photos just to give you an example of those accommodations I mentioned with the themed accommodations. The level of decor is a little different, of course, based on the actual theme itself. And when you are booking these particular categories of themed accommodations on that penthouse side, on a penthouse floor, you also have a series of extra amenities, right? So of course, you have butler service. You also have what is not typically included is that the breakfast pajama party with the characters. So that's an inclusion that actually is part of your all-inclusive when you're booking these categories. So you can, of course, attend and pay extra for that if you are in any of the other categories. But I think that's a nice plus to have in these themed accommodations. So the dining experience is since arrival. Kids get a green slime drink. It really is an experience overall. There are 6 different restaurants. So there's everything from a pizza, pizza focused restaurant or Italian food because it is in conjunction with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because it's their favorite food. We have the famous Snick Lounge, which is 90s related. It's got the famous Nickelodeon orange couch, arcades, and it's for all ages. And we also have Spatula. You can actually book your table to have your TV so you can watch cartoons, of course, from Nickelodeon. So that is our main display restaurant, food display open for breakfast. So lots of fun to be had. And also there's the Good Burger. If some of you have seen the movie, the wait staff is dressed just like in the movie, and they actually will take your order just like they do in the movie. So it's like, welcome to Good Burger. Hold on. Welcome to Good Burger. How may I help you? Or what? I've just gone blank. See, I've got to go. I've got to go back there so I can learn it and memorize it. But lots of fun to be had in the dining experiences around the resort itself, and of course, the highlight. The Nickelodeon Aqua Park. This is the leading aqua park in the destination. It is so much fun. Again, no matter what the ages are, there is an area for younger children that is Paw Patrol themed. That's a very big, very popular set of characters for the Nickelodeon brand right now for sort of preschoolers and younger age children. There is also the main aqua park, which is the main water park that I'm going to go back for a second so you can see it, which is very much focused on SpongeBob and his buddy Patrick and many other characters. And then, of course, we have lazy rivers, we have the slides. There are slides for adults. There are faster, higher slides. So a lot of fun to be had by everyone in the family. And the slides really work as it's not based on age, very much like other, and amusement parks per se. It is based on your height. So if you meet the requirements, you get to go. If not, then you don't. So lots of fun to be had at the property. We also have evening entertainment. We have a theater. It's an orange carpet theme versus a red carpet. And there's so many characters that you may have not even thought were Nickelodeon that you can encounter. So the experience at Nickelodeon, I mentioned as well, really popular is the pajama party. And we have just introduced a new breakfast opportunity with the characters, which is a Paw Patrol focused characters breakfast. So lots of fun that you can have. You can, of course, also have personalized birthdays. So there's a lot of things you can do. Now, some of the dining options are also inside the park. So I love mentioning that because the park itself has 4 different aqua bites. There's also a full service bar. So you don't have to physically leave the park to be able to have a bite to eat or something. And then if you prefer more of a sit down meal, we also have the bistro, which is a sit down food display where you can have, obviously serve yourself inside, and then it's an outdoor area that you can sit at. So overall, that is, the Nickelodeon. I mean, there's a lot of things that go on at the resort, but the most important thing is that when you arrive at the hotel, the clients, we have an app, and it's really important to use that because it will tell you what's going on. And one of the main things, of course, is like what characters are showing up in what areas so that you have your photo opportunities with them, and you'll be able to see them around the resort and around the water park. So let's take a plane and let's head over to Punta Cana, which is actually the location of the original Nickelodeon Hotels and Resorts. Now, the concept of this property is very different because the layout is somewhat different. It's on a smaller piece of land, so you don't need a shuttle, which we do have at the Riviera Maya product. And it's a beachfront resort. They are separate buildings that sort of are nestled within the whole complex. And then at the very front of the property is the water park itself as well. So definitely number of rooms is larger than Riviera Maya, but on a smaller piece of land. But the concept and the idea, of course, is exactly the same. We have the great swim out options as far as accommodations go. What's different at this property is that we have 4 standalone super villas. So you've got your own private pool. There's some really nice fun decor in all of the rooms with the theme of the orange and the greens of Nickelodeon as a brand. But this is also where we have one themed accommodation to date, and it is the famous Pineapple Villa. So you can stay in this particular villa. And as I mentioned with the themed accommodations, this category will also include the pajama party, and you actually get checked in directly from Mr. SpongeBob himself. So again, it's a very enhanced experience depending again on your client's wishes, budgets, and everything else when they're planning their vacation to a Nickelodeon. The variety of restaurants is also the same idea, where we've got a lot of fun going on. At our PH Burger, for example, we have the huge machete burger, and yes, it is cut with a machete. So there's lots of really fun things that you can do around the resort as far as your dining experience. And in spring of 2024, we actually had some enhancements at this property. We opened up a Snick Lounge, just like the one we have in Riviera Maya. We also opened up what is called the Sweetery, which in my opinion is probably the best area and options for you to just spend the day there, honestly, because you can get a coffee, a light snack. It's an ice cream parlor and a donut shop themed as Garfield, who is also a character in the Nickelodeon family. So lots of fun with all the dining experiences. And we do actually have a restaurant that will be opening up soon, and it is called the Bikini Bottom. We currently already have one in Riviera Maya, so this will be an addition, which will be a beachfront restaurant at the Punta Cana property. So that's kind of what's ongoing right now. So excited about that. And of course, we also have our Spacewalker restaurant. So again, each different restaurant has its own theme, and it's a lot of fun that you can have at all ages. Inside the water park, we have our Aquabite as well. So you, again, don't have to leave the park. And one of the things that also we had an enhancement with in spring, or I should say summer of 2024, is that we opened up a new area of the water park itself. So we do have some new slides that are faster, higher, and like a lot of fun for more of an age group of tweens, teens, and going into the adults. And between the two parks, like well, it's one area, but in between the original park and the expansion, we also have close to finished. We have the Adventure Bay Cafe restaurant, so that is also affiliated with Paw Patrol. So those are the two things that are up and coming that will be opening at the Punta Cana property itself. So again, really great experiences. We have nightly entertainment as well, orange carpets, interactions with the different characters. And of course, we also have kids clubs. So if, the parents need a break, it's definitely something that can also be considered for ages 4 to 12 to have that experience. And both our Nickelodeon properties also do offer a spa option at an additional charge. So if you really need a break as a parent, that's something that you can take advantage of as well. So with our Nickelodeon brand, we are also expanding. We will be opening our first US based hotel, which will be located in Orlando, Florida. So excited to be able to share more information with that hotel to you as things progress. The property itself will be located in the area of Kissimmee, very close to Animal Kingdom as a park, as far as location, if you want to get your bearings. It will not have its own water park, and it will not obviously be an all-inclusive considering the location and of course the concept and idea of clients that visit the area, because they're going to the Disney parks and of course Universal and everywhere around there. But Nickelodeon will be present, and we're super excited to be opening this hotel in Orlando. So with that said, our last brand, which I did mention earlier, we do have a property in Montenegro, which is an all-inclusive, but today the focus is on Jamaica. And Jamaica is really, really on, like, it's hot right now, and I'm loving it. I love how the travel advisor community has come together to support Jamaica after the hurricane. It's just amazing to see so many of the different tour operators going into destination, donating, bringing supplies. I'm just really touched by it all, and I love that that side of our community, that we really come together when we need to support each other. We're really grateful and very happy that we were able to reopen our resort in the Negril area on December 1st. So the damages that we incurred were minimal in comparison to many other of our partner friends, and we do sympathize with them, and we know that eventually everybody will be able to reopen and will be back better than ever. But our property, again, this is in the absolutely best location on 7 Mile Beach. It is also a smaller property. It is family friendly, so it's all ages. And what's really great, again, is I mentioned with Riviera Cancun how it's got that sort of intimate feel, a boutique feel, again, stressing the fact that it's not a boutique hotel, but I like that word to describe it in a sense. It's an intimate feel. It's got lots of different little areas. All the buildings are sort of lined up. All of them have two little separate areas of swim ups. So regardless of what building you're in, if you're on a ground floor, you've got those options with your own swim up bar. So accommodation wise as well, it's got different categories. It is we've got rooms that have 2 double beds. We have family units. So again, something for everyone's taste. And of course, the dining experience is, we've got our food display. There's an Italian restaurant. There's a Jamaican restaurant as well. And we of course have, I'm thinking of one more, hold on. An Asian restaurant. Yes. Okay. I was like, okay, I'm missing one there. So I don't expect everybody to remember all this, but I just wanted to share it with you. And one of the things that, we are now on our third country of where Karisma is represented. And I always strongly believe, and, I think this is something to transmit to your clients, is that whenever you are visiting a resort, the resort is great, the location is great, the service is great, the food is great, but make sure that they're walking out the front doors, that they're all inclusives and experiencing the destination, because both Jamaica, both Dominican, and of course Mexico have their music, their culture, their traditions, and I think that's just something that's incredible to experience while your clients are on vacation. So, with that said, great beachfront location. I mean, the water couldn't be any more kid friendly. It's literally like a pool, so it's a great option for clients to be able to travel with their younger ones. We of course have that toddler inclusive program there as well. And to me, in my personal opinion, this is the number one hotspot for a destination wedding, just because of the beautiful sunsets, the location, the backdrop is just spectacular. So we're going to go quickly back to Mexico. I just want to make sure you guys know that we do have two villas. Our Karisma villas are located very close to the Margaritaville Riviera Cancun. They are 6 bedrooms. We have the Villa Esmeralda. They are 6 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms. They are all inclusive with a personalized chef that will prepare your meals for you. So it's a really great concept. Of course, this is an enhanced experience. The pricing is a little elevated in comparison to the hotel stays. However, you do have full access to the Margaritaville Island Reserve Riviera Cancun. What comes to mind for me is it can be a venue for a small micro destination wedding. It could be where clients are staying, as in the family or close friends. It can also be used as a celebration. We've had some recent bachelorette parties, milestone birthdays. So I think it's, again, something a little different, and it's kind of like your villa style, all inclusive vacation. So with that said, when we go into groups, that's something to consider is our villas. But with our group market, and I know not everybody on this call is dedicated to group business, but I do just want to quickly mention that we have revamped our program. It is now called WISE. Stands for Weddings, Incentives, Social, and Entertainment Groups. The standard group concessions that you receive when you're booking through your favorite tour operators remains the same. It's pretty standard for all of our brands. However, we do personalize the brands once you get into 5 rooms and more based on the actual brand itself. So for example, I mentioned floating taco bars. Those are clearly only available with the Margaritaville brand. The meeting space is only at Margaritaville. So there's different inclusions for your particular group needs. And of course, with the Nickelodeon brand, we've got the slime time, because that's something that is, in my opinion, a must. Every day at both of our Nickelodeon properties, the water park, the water turns green. But if you want to personalize and enhance that experience, you can do a private slime. So when you get into the whole group aspect of things, it could be one of those gratuities that you receive. Weddings, we have weddings. We've got sky decks. We've got beachfronts. We've got gazebos. So there's lots of great opportunities as far as venues. We've got a great wedding team that you can reach out to, aside from your BDM. But one thing we introduced this year that is new is that we also have our on-site brewery at the Margaritaville Island Reserve, and that is something that you can use as a venue for a wedding package. So I think that's a lot of fun and something different. Heading the groups and weddings department is Alejandro, followed by Pamela, who is our groups and weddings manager. But I strongly recommend that the first point of contact is your BDM, and then they will connect you through to the appropriate contacts at groups and weddings. So also travel advisor tools. We do have what is called charismatravelagents.com. This is a portal that's super important because it's where you can find everything from fact sheets, maps, access to our photo galleries, and of course, lots of information on our loyalty program. So something that I want to mention is that we are coming out with a brand new loyalty program. The name of it is CARES with a K, and it'll be launching at some point end of this month, beginning of March. So we'll be sure to communicate all that. But it is a point system that will allow for you to receive points that you can redeem for complimentary stays, that you can redeem for amenities for your clients, that you can also experience depending on your levels. We'll have levels where you get more benefits for your clients and for yourselves. So the most important thing is if you have not registered, be sure to go into our portal at charismatravelagencies.com and register yourself and register your bookings, because registering your bookings obviously will get you all of the above that I just mentioned, but it is also something that we consider because we do put together fam trips. And, of course, there's so much more of establishing that relationship with you directly and your BDM team and with myself. So really important, make sure you do that. And over the course of the year, we also work with your favorite and my favorite tour operators to make sure that we're promoting all of the different aspects when you're staying at our different brands. And it's important because we actually have clients, and I'm sure you do too, that are repeat visitors, and they maybe love a particular brand and want to know what's going on at a particular time of year. Something new this year is our Podtastic adventure that will be happening, but there's always something going on. Summer of SpongeBob is a big focus because it's SpongeBob's birthday. So a lot of fun to be had throughout the year. And all of these activations include different activities. So it's something a little different and new for our clients. As well with the seasonal events at the Margaritaville brand right now, currently February, it is Margarita month. So there's lots of going on related to margaritas. We have our Summer of Music, which enhances even more so what is our live music lineup. And of course, with Margaritaville having its own brewery, we celebrate Tropical Oktoberfest and have our special beers brewed on site for this particular event as well. So that leaves me just to introduce you to the team itself. We do have a great team. I'm going to say it's a small team, but we're small and mighty. So representing obviously Midwest and Texas is Diana. North and Southeast is Luis. West Coast is Rocio. And then, of course, we have Anna that looks after our Canadian travel advisors and our national accounts. And then our inside sales support, which is Christy, and all under my, my leadership, I guess you could say. And we're excited to work with you. And that pretty much is the lowdown on Karisma today and where we're at, the product lineup that we are offering, and the expansion that we will have with a couple of new properties moving forward. So everyone, thank you so much for your time. I super appreciate it. And Sabrina, thank you for this opportunity. And I guess we're probably at the point where maybe we might have some questions. I'm not sure. So you tell me.
Well, we might. We might also have some absolute amazing comments like it should be Margarita month every month. Everyone's saying on Facebook. And also, I just want to read this one out. Where is it? It's buried. We've got tons and tons of questions. Oh my goodness. This is one of the best presentations I've ever seen a brand rep do. So well done, Bea. I'm not
Thank
surprised
you.
because Bea's like the best of the best. And I just so many exciting things to talk about, of course, and to share with the agents. So yeah, you've got some amazing feedback. If you're ever feeling like bored, which I'm sure you're not, or a little down, you read this chat box and these Q&A and it'll lift you right up. Really, the community has just embraced and loves you, and you're getting all the great reactions. And I know you're sharing your full screen, so you might not be able to see all the comments and reactions, but I'm happy, to, of course, to read out these questions. I've answered some as we went along. I really, again, just want to say thanks to all of the crew tuning in here and also on Facebook. I know that some of you, of course, most of you are very busy. So if you have to run, that's totally fine. But if you can stay for Q&A, we invite you to do so. You're welcome to do so. Don't worry about the prizes. You've qualified already for that 3-night stay at the Margaritaville Island Reserve, and as well the $250 gift card that we give away, one in Canada and one in the US, for any live webinar that you attend. We're actually going to be drawing the January webinar winner today. So hopefully all of you win. And uh, take your turn, though, not everybody at once, okay? Or we might, we're a small company. So here we go. We are going to go through the Q&A, and you're welcome to stay as I mentioned, or if you have to run, that's okay. Are you okay for time, Bea? We have a
Yeah,
couple
I'm
dozen
fine.
questions. Okay, wonderful. Someone says, I miss when Karisma had more in their portfolio. Is there a plan to add more to your portfolio soon? Perfect. You answered that because you talked about Roatan and Orlando.
That's right.
Amazing. And how are the room renovations coming at the Azul Jamaica property?
They are not at this time. We have done some enhancements at the property, but not a full renovation at this time. That is something that we're hoping to do later this year, but I don't have anything official to share with you at this time.
No problem. And can we receive this PowerPoint or presentation?
Sure.
Okay, wonderful. So I'll just leave that in there for you because you'll get this report with their name and email and everything, and then you could maybe share it with them if that's all right, or
Well,
in PDF.
didn't you record it though, Sabrina? So you could share the link, right?
Oh, of course, we can
Yeah.
share the recording. They're asking for the PowerPoint presentation.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yes, I could do that, like separately from the recording itself.
Yes, just
Yes,
so
yes,
that
I
they
could do
have the
that. Yeah.
PowerPoint, or
Yeah.
that I guess it's easier maybe to send in a PDF. Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Idalia, I see your note in the chat and I will make sure to make note of that. Next up, I want to answer one of our team in Facebook. Geo, thank you for tuning in, is wondering how much the breakfast is, the character breakfast, if you pay for that.
I believe it's just over, I want to say $85 per person, and then there's a discount, like about half of that for the kids.
And I've got to tell you, you can't even imagine the amount of food you get. So I've been at a few of the properties, and this breakfast was like the breakfast for queens and kings. And you have no idea. It was so amazing and so exciting. And even in my older age, I was just like almost crying with joy to see these characters and boogie with them. Because what can I say? I'm still an entertainment girl at heart. Um, how are the room? I already said that. Child care age restrictions.
Um, for outside of the kids club for babysitting, there's no restrictions. So if there's a baby, what we restrict is the number of caretakers to the number of children.
Okay,
So
that
we,
makes
yeah.
sense.
Mhm.
Okay, now I saw someone else say they'd like the PowerPoint. If you'd like something like that, please send it to the Q&A because the chat is literally like as long as the Caribbean Ocean. So it's really hard to dig in there and find out what requests might be in the chat, but the Q&A records separately with your name, your email, and all of that. So if you have a request that you want to make sure is seen, please put it in the Q&A. How many pack and place and cribs? Wow, you're really checking your knowledge. I don't know if you know that. There's lots.
I don't have the exact inventory. Is there a particular resort that you were focused on? But yes, I mean, our family-friendly product will have an ample supply of pack and plays for you.
Absolutely. And what is the travel agent rate for the Margaritaville Island Reserve?
So we have, and I can share this with you, Sabrina. And well, actually, no, I'm not going to share it with you. If you want access to it, you have to register on charismatravelaagents.com. We have a link that takes you to a portal, and it is dynamic.
Yeah,
But you will find the rates there are approximately 30% lower than what you would find online.
perfect. Okay, fantastic. If I don't win, is there an agent rate or FAMs available? Okay, so we talked about agent rate. How about FAM trips?
Yes, we are working on some FAMs. And so this is why it's so important to establish a relationship with your BDM because we're currently in the month of January. In fact, we did 3 agency focused FAMs, right? Of travel agencies that were interested, that were reaching out, that want to work with us and obviously, grow our business together. So if that's something that you're interested in, please reach out to your BDM and as well on an individual basis. That's something that we can also review. We are steering away from that traditional like where sign up for your fam kind of a thing and being more, let's say, selective. And that means that if you know your BDM, they're going to know who you are, and if that's kind of the direction we're going in.
Okay, that makes complete sense. Would you say all properties are accessible? This is coming again from one of our team over at Facebook. Hello, Laura.
Accessible, wheelchair accessible, yes, but not all of the properties have an actual handicap specific room. So that's important to note. So there's 2 different things.
Okay. So would you have a PDF with like room measurements, door sizes, roll-in showers, and all of that? Or is there some kind of
I
Or
I
maybe
don't.
something in the
So
fact sheets?
no, I wouldn't have, that's not specified in the fact sheets themselves, but I'm going to make myself a note about that because I think it's important to consider. But if there's a particular hotel you're interested in, I think it was Laura that you said was asking,
Yes.
please feel free to reach out and we can, get some information to you.
Absolutely. And for everyone, you have all the links. I will reshare those again so everyone has it. If, of course, you ever get stuck or lost, remember Charisma has a fabulous travel agent portal. And if that's a lot to remember, then just come on Spoiled Agent and you'll find the team listing and all the fun stuff there as well. If someone's looking to experience a beach, is there a beach club off site or would guests just have to locate a beach they want to sit on? Just curious.
I'm guessing that you're referring to the Margaritaville Island Reserve. There is not one nearby. I would say that the closest area would be Puerto Morelos, or if you wanted to go in either direction into Cancun or Playa del Carmen. But no, nothing specifically there. I mean, unless you're thinking, oh, like I'll do a day pass at one of the nearby hotels, which, by the way, is something you could do at Margaritaville Island Reserve Riviera Cancun.
Okay, and on that note, they're saying, is transportation offered for guests staying at the Margaritaville Riviera Maya to Margaritaville Cancun so they
No, it
can
is
experience
not.
the ocean
Only
and all that?
when it is related to a wedding group where we met, where I mentioned that we provide that transportation. But there's not
Okay,
privileges between the two, nor transportation.
okay, that makes sense, and that helps answer a few more questions. What room categories are in the adult section? Are there any adult-only restaurants?
The no, none of the restaurants are limited to just adults, except obviously the adults only Margaritaville, clearly.
Of
Um,
course.
And yes, if so on our fact sheets, and I'm just thinking right now, on our fact sheets, it does specify the area and the locate, like the number of people. And I think that correct, I think that question is directly for Margaritaville, Riviera, Cancun, or I'm assuming so anyway. So again, if you want exactly information, you can refer to the fact sheet, or again, please reach out to your BDM for specific questions, and they're more than happy to get those out to you.
Okay, and this might be a BDM one for the Nickelodeon Riviera Maya. Do you know the daily cost of the pergola and cabana rentals?
Oh my gosh, I was just there, and yes and no,
Yeah,
because I
same,
got to
actually.
remember. Okay, so the highest one, I do remember this because I was just there on a site with a fam trip. The highest range is 13,000 pesos, which would be, I'm guessing, around 13,
I'll find it for you.
$700 or so, roughly. But that includes like, Moet, service at your cabana, drinks, upgraded food items. So that's the top one.
Aren't there TV
And
screens too?
yes, there are TV screens.
Yeah.
And the one lower than that was 9,000 pesos, which would be about what, 350 or so, give or take. Um, and that one includes obviously the wait staff at your cabana, an upgraded drink menu, and also upgraded food items as well. And then the one I can't remember was just like, there's one where it's just basically you get the cabana, no bells and whistles, but there is wait staff with the existing food that is available at the different Aquanix spots. But that's the one I don't remember. But let's just say it's under $300.
So good. I had the best poke bowl there. Okay. Do you guarantee connecting rooms at Nickelodeon? And in general, can you talk about connecting rooms?
Yes. Okay. So you are able to actually book them as connecting options. But what's really important as well is that, and that's a really good question because I'm going to give a really obvious example. You have that option, but you can also reach out to your BDM and they can assist you. But they cannot assist you if you, for example, book a king penthouse to a ground floor two beds because there's absolutely no way you can connect those. They're on completely different floors, right? And what's really important as well is that in order to be able to connect, you have to book a king to two beds. We don't have rooms that are two kings that connect, and we don't have rooms that are two beds and two beds that connect either.
Okay, makes sense. Will there be a Disney Universal Airport shuttle at the Orlando property?
I don't think so because we're not affiliated with Disney.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Do you do proposals? It depends on her mood, but the hotels, just joking.
Yes, we do. Yes, and those can be arranged. There's a series of things that you could select if you want to do like a private romantic dinner. That's usually the norm. Actually, when I was in Jamaica in September, there was which obviously was before the hurricane. I was there for what was I there for? Oh, the JPEX event, and there was a couple, and he was proposing. So they did like a little candlelit dinner on the beach, and it was really special with flowers and little petals and stuff. So yes, we can do that. I don't know if you want to do it at Nickelodeon. I mean, that's probably not going to be, uh, but you never know. Maybe they're a big fan of SpongeBob. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? You never know.
Yeah.
For Canadian agents to arrange a site visit, would we contact Anna, the BDM, or the resorts directly?
You can do one or two things. You can contact Anna directly, but also if you go into charismatravelagency.com, we have a landing page, a section that says site inspections. So you actually put your information in and it goes to our lovely inside sales, Christy, that you saw on the slide. And she will reach out and coordinate with the on-site sales managers for your site inspection.
Okay, perfect. How long are the fam trips? Someone's asking.
3 nights.
3 nights. Okay. Then is the point system still in effect for Margaritaville regarding snacks, etc.?
Oh yes, yes. So we have actually, and sorry, I went blank on that one on when I was talking about the hotels. We have what is called Joe Merchants. It's a coffee bar, and it has food that changes up throughout the day. You know, whether it's morning snacks, pastries, and then later on in the evening, which is part of the all-inclusive. And then what we have is we have a system where all of your rooms at both Margaritavilles are stocked with water. So when you get to your room, there will be water in your fridge. However, your bracelet, which serves as your key, also has points based on the number of nights you're staying and based on the category that you have booked. And with that, you can go into Joe Merchants and personalize your mini bar per se. So if you're somebody who, doesn't drink alcohol and just wants to get Diet Coke, then you can just stock up and take your Diet Coke up to your room. And that also includes snacks, savory and sweet. So, there's chocolates and chips and Doritos and things like that. So you can make use of it. And again, fun fact for you, even if perhaps it's something you don't decide to use during your stay because you're good with water, and of course you're staying in an all-inclusive, always good to stock up for some snacks for your plane ride home, right? So just make sure you do it before you check out because otherwise your points are gone.
Mm-hmm. That's a great tip. How are the pickleball courts at Margaritaville managed? Open play, scheduled sessions, or reservations? And can groups pre-book the courts?
Yes, groups can pre-book. Friday nights is kind of a standard where they have that neon tournament that they do, and we have the rackets and balls there, so you don't even obviously have to bring equipment. But I know that diehard pickleball players have their own rackets and things. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it can be if no, it's not open, you do need to reserve it, and you can do that with one of our ambassadors.
Okay, perfect. And can you remind me where we find the hotel contact info? It's on the portal, did you say? Like the hotel directly? Is that a something the
Like,
agents like the sales manager of the hotel?
Oh, well, we don't, it is on there. So when you go to, hold on, what's it called? Sales team. So when you go to the
Okay.
sales team, it's got like the people that I just showed you on the slide. But then if you
Mm-hmm.
go to at the very bottom to each individual hotel, it has the contact of our inside sales. Excuse me, not our on-site sales manager,
Oh,
because
okay,
each
that
hotel
makes
will have
sense.
one.
I
Yeah.
found it. Someone had a question about a meal plan if they travel with interval to Nickelodeon, so I figure I'll just share with them that info so they can do that with
Hmm.
or just inside sales basically is the one, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Perfect. Okay. Let me see. I've got lots of PowerPoint requests here. That's
Okay, well, I guess I'm
fantastic.
gonna send that. Should I send it to you and then you share it, or what should we do?
Sure, we can do that. Yeah, if it's something they can download that you can host, that's easy peasy. We can do that when we announce the winner. We can
Okay.
send out a link with the file. PDF
Okay.
would probably be the easiest.
Hmm.
Okay, fantastic. You're so great, Bea. Okay, we're still going strong. We've still got a few questions here. Um, Sorry, I'm just going through all the PowerPoint requests and making sure I don't lose a question. Okay, for the all-inclusive private villa, is it because it's next to the resort and we have to travel there for the all-inclusive?
Well, no, the all-inclusive at the villa is your own personal chef, which will prepare the meals for you in your villa. However, you are open, like the Margaritaville Island Reserve Riviera Cancun is accessible. It's walking distance. Otherwise, we do have golf carts that can take the clients to and from, and they have access to that resort should they wish to. They don't have to go, it's just there as an option. But your meals are prepared and eaten, and your drinks and your bars all stocked in your villa.
Okay, makes sense. And also, so worth it. Like quote it and then just tell your clients about, this is how many there are and it's divided amongst these people. They are such fantastic, fantastic experiences. And I don't
Yeah.
think there's anything else like it anywhere that you
No, and you know
can
what?
be.
Since
Yeah.
since there's a focus or an interest in the villas, I should add to it that not all of the tour operators carry this product. We are working on getting it added, but because they are just sort of two single units, not everybody carries them. So there is obviously the option of booking these directly with Karisma. So just keep that in mind if you get frustrated because you can't find them, because some tour operators do and some don't. I can tell you for the Canadian travel advisors that are on the call today or on the webinar, none of them carry it. So your only option would be to look at that option directly.
Okay, no problem. And that's great commission that way too. So, just I see some agents are telling us that you have to leave. No problem. By all means, please go ahead. We know you're probably itching to book one of these fabulous Charisma properties. Next up, question: when would be the best month for travel agents to visit and get to know the properties?
Um, well, if you are booking a travel agent rate, then that's really entirely up to you because it's going to be based on pricing and, perhaps air seat costs and availability. If you are FAM season, for example, will not return now until May. So Feb, March, and April are not months that we will have FAM trips. So if you did want to see the hotels, it's a perfect time, of course. However, you would only be able to do that through the travel agent rates.
Okay. And someone asks, any properties that are small dog friendly?
No, only like for medical reasons or like for like a guide
Hmm.
dogs. Mhm.
Okay, very good. And do you have a favorite resort? That's hard.
Well, no, yes and no. My personal favorite is, I'd say, Margaritaville Riviera Cancun, but
Wonderful.
the beach in Negril is just wow,
I know.
right?
I also really,
So
I
yeah,
love that property so much. The beach,
yeah.
the service, the everything.
So it's a hard call. But if I had to choose, if you put me on and said you have to choose B, I think I would say Margaritaville Island Reserve Riviera Cancun. It's more my vibe.
Yep. Okay. Are the BDMs agent based or location based? I'm in Michigan, but my agency is in South Carolina.
I am happy to share that our BDM team are all based in Cancun, which is where the majority of our hotels are. And I love saying that because I think it brings an additional personal touch when they are there and say you're visiting, whether it's that site inspection or you've got clients going, that they are there and can actually go to the resorts and greet you or, go above and beyond, right? So that is a big focus for us for them being based in Cancun, although they do travel to the US and Canada. I know that Anna has planned to be in Ontario in April. She, in fact, will be attending for the Canadian travel advisors in the area. She's going to attend a couple of the Granite shows. So that's happening in April. Our BDM for North and Southeast is currently, actually next week, we'll be in Nashville and Memphis area. And our Midwest BDM in the month of April is going to be going, I believe it's Michigan. So they do their travel plans and whatnot. So if you are interested in seeing them when they visit your area, just shoot them an email and just say, hey, please let me know when you're coming to whatever city you're from, and they'll definitely make note of that. I know that our Diana, who looks after Texas as well, is going to be planning a trip there in June.
Fantastic. And is there a timeline in advance where you need to request the site inspection, like a couple days before?
Yeah, a couple of days before is fine.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, I think that's good. And Lashwandra, I also sent you the link. So you register to access the travel agent rates, we said, right, B?
Yes.
Okay, so I've sent you all that link. But if you get lost and forget anything again, Karisma Travel Agent Portal, or if you get stuck, you can come on Spoiled Agent, and we've got links to everything there for you
Exactly.
because we want to spoil you and make it easy. We appreciate so much that you've all taken the time to be here and be with us. I think that I've answered all the questions that I saw here, just making sure there's nothing further. And I think that we are good to go. Um, and I'm just making sure, yes, that there's nothing outstanding. Forgive me because I've just checked one more channel. We're good. I think I've answered everything from all the different
Right.
places.
No, that's wonderful. They were great questions. And what I love about it is that when there's no questions, you always doubt, well, were they paying attention? Did I answer all their questions or what? So this was really great because I think it shows that there's interest in the product. So I'm really happy to have stayed on and answered those questions for everybody. So thank you, everybody.
Well, yeah, and it's new for you. I got to tell you, spoiled agents are the smartest, the best looking, the highest paid, and the best and most educated in closing, in learning about these wonderful, wonderful opportunities so they can share and make these fantastic dreams for their clients. It's fabulous. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We will announce that winner next week. They're selected at random. And of course, if you didn't win, that's okay. Go on a TA rate, register for the program. It's they can just register in the portal for free, and so you have access to the TA rate. And there's so much amazing things for you to see there. And B, thank you. What a pleasure. What an honor. I hope we could do this every month, but at least we can do it hopefully every quarter because it's so lovely to see you and so fantastic to hear about the updates and the new things in store. Really, really exciting. And if you have any final words, please feel free to share.
No, I mean, I think I've said it all, and thank you. Your support is amazing, and I always said, and we've got such a similar personality. We're so passionate about what we do. It shows now that you're at Spoiled Agent, and the same with myself. No matter where we are, our passion shows through for what we do. So I think that's one of the best assets I think one can have because it transmits to all of the travel advisors and their clients. So thank you, everybody, again.
And thank you for the presentation. You knocked it out of the park. I really haven't seen that. I don't even know when I did say this is one of the best presentations or the best presentation I've ever seen. So congrats.
Thank you.
Well deserved. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and we hope to see you on another webinar soon. Bye for now.